We all know Battle Pirates has a lot of changes we could make to it, some more complicated than others. Today, I'm going to be going through 5 simple changes I would make if I ran Battle Pirates, which Kixeye should definitely implement today. By the way, you're welcome for the free ideas. In any case, let's go ahead and get through it. I'm going to be going through 5 of these ones I can think of. I could easily come up with a list of about 100 more, but I'm really going to be going through some simple ones. I'm not talking about huge changes like adding a 3rd shipyard or 3-month raid cycles. Those are different topics, and not talking about things that Kixeye claims are more complicated, such as rotating portals or really anything to do with the dock. Those things are both apparently really old and take a lot of time and effort to go through. The biggest one that I would make is queuing mines. In short, mines have 6 hours to build, and you get 4 mines depleted per loss if you've got this full. It takes you 24 hours to continually build back through that, which for people who log in once or twice a day is almost impossible to do during a 36-hour bubble and literally impossible during 12-hour bounty. So my solution for this thing is that we should either decrease mine build times, build mines in groups of 4 over 24 hours only, or even allow mine queuing. I could set the next 30 to be queued up there. This is a huge problem because of this diagram on the top right. If your base gets defeated, your mines are empty, your base loses more easily, and your base gets defeated more easily, which again means that your mines are empty anyway and it's impossible to build those back. This is a positive feedback loop where you can't ever break out of it and is the exact opposite of what we should be going for from a game design perspective. It really just makes people stay out of PvP. Long story short, mines are not designed well and the build time should be shortened, or ideally some sort of queuing system or batching system should be put into place. This would be a really simple change and would involve changing a few numbers around at the bare minimum to decrease the build time for these things. The next one is a really simple one for me. 90% of people only care about the current tier of ships. We have a token filtration system, which is fantastic, and actually took them like 3 days to add when we've been complaining about it for 3 years. And this box right here that says show all tiers should be unchecked by default. Or it should remember the last thing that you saved with it. I don't care about Citadels, Tideseekers, Cannoneers, Zealous, or Punishers. That box should be unchecked. It should automatically only show the current tier. If you want to show all of them, go ahead and click that one, turn that in, but the default setting should only include things that are relevant to all players. That's a very small one, but should be a very easy fix. We also have building repairs. So currently, buildings like portals, which take you 20 days to build, pause their upgrades when they're repairing. And this is something Kixeye has turned off before, so I know it's possible. If you have something like this portal, which takes almost a month to build, you're going to be adding on 12 hours every 36 hours if you're getting beat to this thing, which is really annoying. You're already spending so much time on this stuff, already 28-day build or an 18 days with officer. Why are we adding 25%, 12.5% of the build time to these things? It's silly and doesn't make sense, and if Kixeye cared about their player base, they'd make a small change that would make everyone happier. Buildings could keep repairing while they're upgrading. They should of course still have repair time to be fully functional and have the armor points work in combat because you don't want someone hitting all the time and immediately having a fresh base, but this is something that, again, I think should be changed. One of the biggest ones for me is free fleets. Currently, fleets are actually only out at U2, and since I did make this presentation, Kixeye released a fleet at U1, and these fleets come out too late. They come in time for the second pillage only. If you want to use the fleet for in the first pillage there that they're useful in for that top tier, you can't because they don't exist. So my goal is to have fleets out at U2 minimum, and it should be in time for the first pillage so you can actually use them. I just want more people playing the game and having the tools to play the game. If you're hitting that B set or that A set, which is again below that S set that we're all hitting, you're going to get like 60k points and be able to redeem one flagship and be way behind here. It doesn't make any sense. We all know that we get the optimal results from having X1 fleets in these targets, and we claim they're tuned to X1, which is something that is relatively true for the damage that we're expecting and we're used to. We need to have the fleets at that highest upgrade level. I did a few polls here in the Forsaken Council a month ago, and a lot of you were saying that you would think the highest level of fleets that you're okay having out are U3. Overwhelming majority of you want fleets at U3. I'm thinking U2 would be accessible. 0% of people, 2% of people like U0 and U1. And a lot of people agree. More people than U1 that want the fleet at U1 think that they're way too late to be useful and are just scrapping them. I also asked as a follow-up poll if Kixeye released those free fleets at U3 afterward, after they were used in the raid cycle, used in that first month or two after that, would Kixeye giving out free fleets at U3 discourage you from building them? Which I think their answer is yes, although 90% of you said no. So that's my thing with free fleets. They come out at U0 and then you get through like half of one encounter in the TLC. It's a horrendous idea to bring these things out here with no testing and no validation in the current raid targets. Kixeye taking that level 102 in the raid, renaming it an 82 and sticking it in the pillage, does not mean that a U0 fleet can do it for a reasonable amount of damage. Just lowering the number on the target does not qualify. If you change the mechanics and reduce the ranges on these things in addition to reducing the damage, sure. But that you're not doing that, so you need to give people the tools to at least have the bare minimum engagement in these events. If you look at the average repair time from level 82 and see that it's 6 hours, that means you can hit it twice with your U0 fleet. You can hit it twice before it's dead and get 10,000 points, do that 6 times, and get 1 prize. That's ridiculous and shouldn't happen. The last thing here is replays. So every single time you go into your base to watch a replay, you see the screenshot on the top right. You have to wait 30 seconds every single time, even if you press let's go. This makes absolutely 0 sense, period. If you're saving people money, and I can say I can save you 30 seconds for your operation for 10,000 players a day, that's an immense cost savings right there if you value players' time in any amount. This shouldn't happen. When you press let's go, the replay should start. I get it's a little more complicated than that one. Replays are really old, but it should be possible to change this around. Additionally, you get kicked to the loading screen after every replay. It pops up with this end of playback thing and immediately goes into a refresh, which is really annoying. I want to be able to do what it claims and select another battle or exit to get revenge. I don't want to go to a replay screen just yet. And in any case, attacks should just start when the attacker presses the button because defenders can't drive, so why are you waiting 30 seconds, not only every replay, but every single base attack? Why are we waiting that long every single time when the defender can literally do nothing? I get that you don't want the battle to start when the defender presses start because then the attacker can't drive around here, but those are my thoughts there. So hey Kixeye, there were 5 really simple, really nice, easy changes for you. How about you take one of them and try and get it done before Christmas? That would be fantastic. I don't mean to come across as too negative for this video or anything. I just got some suggestions for you and I would love it if you implemented them. Players, if you've got thoughts down below here, go ahead and let me know. What simple changes would you make? And don't say add a dry dock because that's not a simple change. Sure, you could think it's helpful, but actually, it would go the other direction. In any case, I want to give a huge thank you to folks whose names appear on screen now. They're supporting the channel and making videos like this possible. Anyway, and until next time, this is Derpy, signing out, helping you be a better pirate.